Hello and welcome to Europhoria, a podcast all about the great, glam and garish from Eurovision past. My name is Roland Bodnam, and as ever I am joined by the delicious Isobel Chilman. Hey Isobel.
Back on, back to your old favourite, aren't you?
I should start looking up more D words because
most likely
my vocabulary is not great in that respect.
No, you're not very quick, are you?
No, sadly. How are you doing, Isobel? All right?
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks, mate. I'm
Good.
Sounding better than you are. I was a bit croaky yesterday, but you're croaky today.
I went out last
night. Roland's back.
No, hi. So if you're joining us for the first time, this is a podcast where we delve into the history of the Eurovision Song Contest. And each week I attempt to create my own Eurovision smash hit.
Sometimes they're phenomenal, sometimes they are unlistenable. But we listen to them anyway.
Yeah.
And then I judge.
And we get judgy at the end, and then I leave the podcast
in tears
quite often. So before we get underway, Isobel, as you can tell with my croaky voice, I had a bit of a big one last night.
Mm-hmm.
So because I normally get the wine or the beverage to go along with the podcast this week, and you may be disappointed, I have bought some sparkling apple juice from England.
Oh, it's called Newton's what? Apple physics.
Like Isaac Newton.
Oh, isn't that clever of
and
them?
Fizz, like sparkle.
That's very smart.
It is from London.
Oh, good. Well, I just found the corner then.
So, would you like a glass?
Yeah, I'll have one glass just to quench my thirst, but then I am going to drink a bottle of open white that's in my fridge.
That sounds perfect, yeah. That sounds fine. Oh,
that was a nice
that's
one.
Fine.
Though.
A nice little thing.
Yeah,
Here we go. Oh, let's see if we can get a nice sparkle going.
Good glug.
Ooh, that's very nice.
I love a fizzy apple juice.
Oh, I'll tell you what.
Do you have, do you have like a specific thing that you have to eat when you feel poorly?
No, I don't. I know people who do, but I don't. Not like a non-medicine thing.
No.
What do you do?
So if I've been ill and had not really had an appetite and not been eating for a few days, like when you've got flu or something, when I'm feeling better, my go-to meal is Chinese takeaway with an appetizer.
Ooh, that sounds very good.
I can't get only ever when I'm ill. That's the only time I drink it.
Oh, cheers,
mate.
Cheers to that then. Hey. Let's move on now to the next part of the podcast, and that is
Eurovision news.
So we did Russia last week. They're out. Sorry, bye Russia. We're going to move on.
Bye Russia.
Bye Russia. That's done and dusted. We're going to move on. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of images coming out of the stage at the minute from Ukraine. It all looks very snazzy. They've got another LED floor screen thing, so people can that's going
to be going for a while longer, isn't it?
Roll around on the floor and stuff happens around them, which is all very exciting. One little bit of controversy that's happening at the minute, though, is in an interview with Eurovision website Eurovision World, Joust, who is Norway's entry into the Eurovision Song Contest this year, has said that the Norwegian national broadcaster is currently in negotiations with the EBU to remove the rule that prohibits pre-recorded vocals during the performances.
What?
Basically, their entry this year uses quite a lot of pre-recorded vocals, and they're saying that it will detract from the song if they have to remove them. But that's the rule of the contest, right?
Well, that's one of the fundamentals of the contest. It has to be done live. I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard it. Do you know what those bits are? Like, why do they have those bits? Or why do they need those bits?
It's what you were talking about last week with when Russia complained.
Right.
It says that the issue arose as the entrance of Norway used several electronic voices in their songs. The difference is that the one you were talking about last week uses a vocoder, which is a live voice, someone singing on stage, which then makes it sound robotic live. Whereas I think this is like robotic voices just from the speakers rather than from someone speaking on stage.
Nah, mate.
I don't think they can
check the rule book. It's a rule. You can't. No, I'm not having it. Because if you do this once, it's all going to go out the window.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of the end of Eurovision. If you start letting people not sing live,
yeah,
that's the fundamental of it.
Yeah,
exactly. What is it then? What is it if people aren't singing live? Well, yeah, no, because if you can get in bits that, well, that just leads on to auto-tune.
Yeah.
Which leads on to, we'd never have a Gemini if you were allowed to have fake vocals in the background, because you'd never have those moments where you go, oh, you can't sing for shit.
Yeah.
Wow, how do we get into this situation? You've got to let people fall on their asses.
Yeah. And you can polish a song to so much that it's like perfect. And if you can spend like the whole year just like tweaking a song, every song's going to sound so super polished. Part of the nerves of the night is like, oh, are they going to fuck up? Are they going to hit that high note? Like, every year, there's at least like 2 or 3 that sing, miss really those high notes, or a bit out of key or a bit flat, and that's part of the fun of it, isn't it?
Nah, mate, I'm not on your side.
Okay, well, Norway. No way, Norway. Good luck recreating those robot voices live on stage.
Oh my god, that would be great. I wrote about.
I mean, I did do that in one of my songs. So
yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, that's the news that is happening this week with Eurovision. Let's move on to some any other business. We have an email from our ever reliable Dr. Down Under.
Reggie.
Good Dr. Down Under, Reggie.
Reggie, is it just, are you just our only listener?
Just downloading
just you.
several hundred times.
I'm fine with that. You're great. It's very nice that we have this conversation from across the world going on.
So Reggie sent an email, and you predicted this would happen. Reggie said...
About your song.
I would say that Wait for the Weekend deserved an 8. I loved it. So thanks, Reggie, for that. Also, Reggie said, and a question that we asked last week, is that there has been magic in the Eurovision Song Contest.
Oh yeah, I forgot to look that up.
Reggie's most recent memory of magic in Eurovision is Croatia's entry from 2011. Reggie says the live performance was pretty bad, and that the magician couldn't even save it with his magic. Okay. So I haven't actually watched it, but we can watch it afterwards and see how well the magician does.
Yes, please.
Feel free to look at that yourself, and then see if you can recreate the magic tricks at home yourself.
Send me magic stuff. Just
we love
like
magic.
Videos to do with magic. Really good magicians. I'm really into magic.
Harry Potter?
No. Okay.
Proper real magic.
Real magic.
David Copperfield.
Yeah, I
David
want to see
Blaine.
real magic. I scream, even though I know it's fake, and sometimes I even know how it's done. I will scream at things that happen. I can't. I love it. It's so cheesy. We once, so our buddy Benji. Had a party at his once. It was been 2 years ago now, and a mate of his that was like a regular at the pub came along, who is a magician, and he worked alongside Darren Brown. And Benji said to him, as a joke, said, "Oh yeah, you can come along to the party, but only if you do magic." And he turned up reasonably early when there was still only about 10 of us there. Yeah. And he said to Benji, he was like, "So what do you want me to do? Like go around like people and stuff?" And Benji was like, "No, I was joking. You can stay. You don't have to do magic." And I heard this and was immediately like, "You do have to do magic. You have to do magic for me right now." And I lost my mind. My God. He was incredible. And he did tons for people, bless him. Like, I don't know if he didn't stay until the end of the party, so probably he did get fed up. I kind of wanted to marry him a little bit. I'd love to marry a magician. If you're a magician and you'd like to marry me, please do contact us on europhoriapodcast@gmail.com or on Twitter, which is @europhoriacast. If you're not a magician and you'd also like to marry me, that's fine also. Or if I will take all marriage proposals. Or if you don't, it doesn't have to be a marriage proposal. You can just get in touch with us. You can, but I mean, a proposal would be great. That would be nice. Yeah. They're good with their hands, magicians, aren't they? Oh, stop it, Roland. Stop it. All right, so let's move on from the any other business. Do get in touch with us on those ways of getting in touch with us, because we are desperately... Just like hearing from you. Desperately lonely. Oh, yeah. And also desperately lonely. That's why I got a cat. Yeah. Oh, there's a cat. It's the first time I met her. Roland met her. Patsy. She's an angel, Patsy. Isn't she? So, Isobel. So, Roland. It's my turn to tell the Eurovision story this week. Ooh. And I felt like it had been too long since we'd gone down the old political route. I missed it too much. So we are coming to the story that I call The Orange Revolution and Green Jolly. Okay. Is this going to be another one where you go back about 300 years before Eurovision? No, this is... No. Quickly editing everything. No. Honestly, delete. I only start 50
it's 100 words. 100 years. It's now 100 words. No, it's 2004, Isobel.
Okay.
And
Good year.
Yeah. And Eurovision is being held in the Abzi İpeki Arena in Turkey.
Lovely stuff.
That year's Eurovision had a number of firsts. It was the first time Eurovision used its latest updated logo. That's the one with the heart-shaped flag in the middle of the word Eurovision. It was the first year that Turkey ever gave points to Cyprus, and that's significant because of their strained relationship since the Turkish invasion of Cyprus in 1974.
Understandable. Things have been tense since then.
It was also the first time that a country scored more than 200 points but didn't win. The only two songs previously to score over 200 points were Ireland's Rock and Roll Kids and the UK's Love Shine a Light.
Banging track. Oh, I'm looking forward to the week where one of us does Katrina in the Waves.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
I'm going to do Katrina at some point.
I'm looking forward to hearing that. So in 2004, both Greece and Serbia and Montenegro scored 252 and 263 points respectively. But out in front that year with 280 points was Ukraine's very own Ruslana with the song Wild Dances.
Hell yeah.
So, and that was also the first time Ukraine won as well. So another first there. There was a slight issue when going to present Ruslana with the trophy. The presenter of the night, Sertab Erener, got her shoe stuck in a speaker grill by the side of the stage and had to be freed by a stagehand. However, this apparently didn't delay proceedings. And thanks to the heroic action of said stagehand, the prize giving went smoothly after
Hilarious. Just on the note of people falling over or getting or tripping, I fell over in the street yesterday. Fell onto my hands and knees on the pavement, and a woman stepped over me.
No!
Yes!
I thought you were going to say helped you.
No.
Stepped
over me.
Wow.
I was aghast. I text Benj about it, and he was like, that is wonderful in the worst way. That's
it kind of is, yeah.
Right?
I'm envisioning her with a big fur coat and
it's something that happens in Sex and the City,
exactly.
Not in Dalston.
In Dalston as well.
I couldn't believe it.
Bloody hell.
I'm still getting my head around it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's understandable. So Ukraine had won. Hurrah! And they were due. Hurrah! And they
so lackluster.
I'm still slightly recovering from last night. They were due to host the Eurovision Song Contest in 2005, as you do. All very exciting. However, before that was due to happen, there were some things that were going on within the country itself. So scheduled for October and November was something that an awful lot of European countries are currently going through. We all love them. A bloody election. Yay.
Christ almighty.
So this was Ukraine's presidential election, and it was taking place in a very highly politically charged atmosphere. So there were allegations during the campaigns of media bias, voter intimidation, and candidate Viktor Yushchenko was poisoned with dioxin, which gave him something called chloracne, which is basically severe eruptions of acne and cysts due to exposure to specific chemicals. He was basically poisoned to kill him, but it didn't kill him, and he survived and went and carried on campaigning.
What the fuck?
So there were 26 candidates who would enter the voting, and after the votes had been counted, the two leading candidates were basically entered into a runoff. So the two leading candidates were the opposition leader, Viktor Yushchenko, who was the one who was poisoned, and the incumbent prime minister, Viktor Yanukovych. So
Two victors.
Battle of the Victors.
Victor v. Victor.
So the opposition...
Who's going to be the victor?
You've actually just stolen a joke I have written down later. I'm still going to do the joke and we're going to enjoy it. So at the end of the first vote, the opposition leader Yushchenko had 39.9% of the vote and Yanukovych had 39.2% of the vote. So it was a very close run thing. The turnout was apparently 75%, but there was a number of irregularities in terms of voter turnout, particularly in regions where Yanukovych's support was the largest. So anyway, because neither of these candidates achieved a share of the vote larger than 50%, there was the runoff election, which was scheduled for November 21st. So after campaigning and voting on November 23rd, the results were announced that Viktor Yanukovych, who was the prime minister, was the actual victor for the election, and Viktor Yushchenko was not the victor of the election.
Yeah, I mean, it was funnier when I told
Yeah,
it.
I know. Yeah, well, yeah, I feel like you slightly... So the
poisoned one lost.
The poisoned one lost.
Mate, that guy can't catch a break, can he?
The
poisoned, not voted into parliament.
The results were immediately challenged by Yushchenko, and a number of international observers also claimed that the election had been rigged. The subsequent events.
When isn't an election rigged nowadays? I mean,
it's I
kind of believe that every election is rigged,
yeah,
regardless of what it was. I don't trust Big Brother results. I don't trust X Factor anymore, mate.
Eurovision though, come on. Eurovision.
That's the only one that stays true.
Even that's had some.
Even that is dubious.
Yeah, now with the panels and that.
Well, it's better. I don't know.
You can buy votes easier. You can't buy votes for nation.
Can't trust anyone, mate.
Anyway, well, yeah.
Trust me.
Happy world. So the results were challenged, and observers claimed that the election was rigged. The subsequent events led to a large number of protests, sit-ins, civil disobedience, and general strikes across the country. This is what was dubbed the Orange Revolution. So orange was the colour representing Yushchenko's party.
Okay.
So it was a peaceful revolution. During the height of the revolution, in one of the towns in western Ukraine, which was one of the sort of hotspots for a lot of the protests, 3 friends who had attended one of the earlier rallies were inspired to write a song to inspire other protesters to keep up the fight. It took them only 4 hours to produce the song. It's about as long as it takes me to produce one of my songs. And it was an instant hit with the local protesters there. The 3 friends were Roman Kalin, Roman Kostyuk, and Andriy Pisetsky. Lots of people with the same names, which isn't that helpful when you're writing a story.
No.
So together they formed a band called Green Jolly, which is actually a Ukrainian word, and it just reads as Green Jolly. It's a word that means wooden sledge.
Oh Christ, guys! No, rethink the name. Epicenter is a good one. I can recommend that.
Wooden sledge isn't that. It doesn't make you that excited.
Wooden sledge. I mean, even the actual Green Jolly bit of like Green Jolly. Jolly Green Giant. Was that the sweet corn man?
Yeah, it is. Ho, ho, ho, Green Giant.
Yeah.
Anyway, so their song was called Razom Nazbahato, and it was gaining recognition with the revolutionaries across the country. So Green Jolly actually came to the central protests in Kiev, which was basically the focal point for all the protests across the country. They performed in the square there, and their song had an immediate response from the hundreds of thousands people who had gathered. The song basically became an anthem for the revolution, and its lyrics including lines like, "Together there are many of us, and we cannot be overcome, no to falsifications, no to lies, no to machinations," were basically chanted and sung by protesters across the country. And it worked, actually. The protest worked, and after a revote was ordered on the 26th of December, the final results showed a clear victory for Yushchenko with 52% of the votes to Yanukovych's 44%.
Shut up.
So Poisoned Boy got through and won and became president of Ukraine.
Bloody hell.
Good, right? So
can we recount the EU referendum? Is it too late?
Oh God!
Is that too late?
I think they've been put in the bin now. Very quickly put in a bin. So as if all of that voting and protesting wasn't enough, at the same time, the nominations for Ukraine's Eurovision entry were being decided. Ukraine's national selection process took place over 15 weeks.
What?
So
that's intense.
Starting from November 1st, this is right in the middle of all that crazy stuff going on. Each week, 5 songs would compete on national television, and viewers would pick their favourite one. And then the 15 winners then compete in the national final on the 27th of February.
Oh my God. Imagine working on
weeks.
that. 15 weeks of Eurovision songs.
That's
and it's not even Eurovision yet.
No.
Oh, what a job. We need to do that. Can we have 15 weeks of it in the UK?
We would go to every single one as well.
I would help run it for free.
Yeah,
I'd volunteer. Yeah, I don't mind. I'd be one of the entries.
Yeah.
Just give it a go. When you've got that many, got a chance, haven't you?
Times 5. What's 15 times 5? 75?
Sure.
Yeah, 75. So 75 entries, like we're singing on national TV. There's going to be a few. There's going to be a few Diana, crazy. Queen of Our Hearts in there, isn't there?
Oh, hell yeah.
Old Biddy singing about the good old days.
Keep entering your songs.
I'll have 75. I could do all of the entries are just my songs in different ways. So in the run-up to the national final, there was one clear favourite. It was a woman named Annie Lorak, and her song was a song called A Little Shot of Love, which is a great name. And it was extremely popular with the voting public. So all of the heats had occurred and the final was coming up. However, rumours began emerging that Annie had been performing and protesting on the anti-Orange Revolution side of the debate. And at the last minute, Deputy Prime Minister Mykola Tomenko demanded that 4 new entries be added to the national final selection lineup. And he said to reflect the dramatic changes in society due to the Orange Revolution. This was quite controversial. The intervention led to accusations that Mr. Tomenko was himself vote rigging and was politically interfering in the contest. So
it's never simple with Eurovision, is it?
Never simple. So, however, the addition of these 3 new entries went ahead, and one of these entries was 3 young men from Western Ukraine, the band that had become synonymous with the revolution, Green Jolly.
Wooden sister sledge.
Yes. Green Jolly. So the night went ahead with the 15 original winners of the heats, and then the 4 extra acts thrown in for good measure. And at the end of the night, the winner was announced. So the top 2 acts were Annie Lorak and Green Jolly. And the winner was Green Jolly with 2,247 votes to Annie's 1,952 votes. Annie said...
Recount?
Annie didn't say recount. No, in fact, she specifically said, I'm not going to demand a recount. She said, I am a creative person. The winner should be music and art. I will seek a place where people will respect and love me. Which I feel like we should all do.
I mean, but also she sounds like little Miss Sassy Pants.
She does
like, what a little... I'm going to find a creative space where people really appreciate me for the artist that I am. I have heard so many wankers in East London speaking like that.
Yeah, I know, of course. And then they come to East London because that's where they're going to be respected and loved for their art.
And then they step over people in the street.
God, Jesus Christ.
I see you, woman. I'm going to recognise you.
So Green Jolly were all set to represent Ukraine in their own nation, which is all very exciting. That was, however, if the song contest was going to be held in Ukraine at all. The following month, and with just 3 months to go until the contest, the Eurovision supervisor at the time, Svante Stoksalius...
Svante is a good name.
Svante is a good name. So this is the one before Thingy Bob Now. What's his name?
Jon Ola.
Jon Ola.
What's his name? How hungover are you? Thingy Bob Now, what's his name? The sexy sex pot Jon Ola.
The music god.
The EBU god. Saviour above.
Yeah, I know. Jon Ola, yes.
That's blasphemy in this house, mate. Blasphemy.
I'm so sorry, Jon. I'm so sorry, Jon. So Svante was the predecessor to Jon. So Svante Stoksalius visited the production team in Kiev to check on progress. He had with him a list of 20 things that he wanted to check to make sure everything was going smoothly. So of that 20 things on the list, absolutely none of them had been achieved. This is with 3 months to go. According to Svante, there was no venue, there were no hotels, there was no transportation, and Svante was not happy. Apparently, he banged his hand on the table and said, "This is not going to work."
Oh,
Svante, right?
Sounds hot.
They are powerful. These guys are powerful. He said he was going to recommend that Eurovision moves from Kiev to another country.
Well, needs must.
Yeah, the Ukrainian...
Do it properly.
The Ukrainian...
Why is it bloody Ukraine, did they not learn from this situation
seriously.
with what's happening now? Why can't they pull their fingers out and sort this out?
I know. The producer immediately asked Svante if they could take a 10-minute break, so they did. After 10 minutes passed, the producer came back and said to Svante, "There is a car outside. Can we go somewhere?" So Svante got in the car.
I fucking wouldn't. About to get killed, mate.
I'm going to get disappeared.
It's terrifying.
Svante being Svante, though, being the...
Oh, he could probably kill people with his hands. If you're head of the EBU, I think you're sort of like Hercules.
Yeah.
Like Hercules mixed with Thor, maybe.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like very manly, powerful... You're in control of everything.
Svante wasn't scared. Svante wasn't scared.
Svante ain't scared of
so
shit.
he got in the car and it drove straight to the presidential palace in Kiev. They got out and then walked into this big room in the palace, and standing there was President Yushchenko and 14 of his ministers. The president said to Svante, "I believe we have some problems." and Svante said, "Yes, Mr. President, yes, we do." So they went through the problems, and as Svante listed off all the things that weren't ready, Yushchenko began pointing at ministers and saying, "You deal with this, you deal with this." The president then turned to Svante and said, "Can you come back in 2 weeks?"
So the Ukrainian government put Eurovision together.
The president did, yeah. The president was like, "This is priority." So
hilarious. Theresa May, if you are listening, this is what I need from a prime minister.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I don't want you fundamentally, but we're going to end up with you. So one of the things I want you to commit to is Eurovision. This is the commitment I want to see from the leader of my country.
Put it in the manifesto, right?
Fuck yeah. How many votes would you get? There's a lot of us. There's a lot of Eurovision fans.
Yeah.
Biggest audience in the world.
Yeah. Really a passionate fan base as well. You know,
we'd do anything. I'd vote for anyone if they had a Eurovision manifesto.
Eurovision priority.
I will commit to 15 weeks of trials for it. I will commit to putting all of the government ministers.
Yeah.
Boris Johnson has to scrub the toilets at the O2 to get it all
that
prepped.
works, yeah.
Like, I'd be happy with that.
Oh, it'd be great at the O2 as well. I hadn't even thought about
Oh
that.
my
It'd be
god,
great
we need to win it at some point.
I know. So Svante agreed to come back in 2 weeks' time. But whilst he went away, he also began making arrangements for other countries to host the contest. After 2 weeks, Svante came back to the president, walked back into the same room, and the president said to Svante, "I'm afraid we're going to make you disappointed." Svante immediately started talking about where they were going to move the contest to. He was like, "Well, we've got it ready for this place." Yushchenko then smiled. He did a Chris Tarrant. He said, "We've only solved 19 of the 20
Victor.
of the things you asked."
You little tease.
Yeah.
Classic Victor.
So the show went ahead, and it was widely seen.
What was the one they didn't do?
I think it was Denmark or somewhere like that. It was
No, I mean, what was the one out of the 20?
Oh, I don't know. They didn't say. It's like toilets or something.
Be interesting to know. If you're like,
Toilets.
We've done everything. Like, great.
No
Then it's
arena.
just like everyone walking around being like, don't let Svante touch the walls, because as soon as he realises they're actually just cardboard cutouts.
It's
like,
all made of paper.
Shit, it's all going to crumble down.
Everything's drawings. It's just drawings. So, no, the show did go ahead and was widely seen as a success, despite its marathon 3.5-hour runtime, which Wogan was commenting on quite a lot throughout.
Oh,
the
God,
show.
he must have been fed up.
So Ukraine...
he wasn't a young man towards the end of his Eurovision reign. He must have been getting bored shitless with that nonsense.
He became less and less patient with the whole process.
I really should rewatch some old Eurovisions when it was Wogan era, because he was comedy gold.
Yeah, he was.
Especially when he was unimpressed by something or unimpressed by someone on the stage.
Yeah.
Scathing.
So Ukraine was put onto the world stage, and its revolutionary song was heard by hundreds of millions across the globe. Green Jolly actually only managed to come 19th in the end, but I think getting the message out there, as we've said about other songs in the past, is the sort of the priority with those sorts of things, especially something like that that's quite specific to their own country. It's not necessarily relevant, but the actual important thing is making people hear it. And even Annie Lorak got her shot at Eurovision just 3 years later, when she entered with her song "Shady Lady."
Oh my god, great song name.
And
I'm a shady lady.
Shady lady, right?
That woman that stepped over me is a shady fucking lady.
Shitty lady.
She was shady.
And Annie Lorak actually came second overall when she entered, so she did pretty well.
I bet she was smug as fuck.
I bet she was smug as fuck. So the only thing that's missing from my story currently is the Screen Jolly song, because it's not good.
Oh.
And I like the story because it's like nice and like everyone did really well and well done everyone. And I feel like hearing their song would detract from it.
You've got to play it now.
I think you're not going to let me get away with not playing it.
No, I want to hear it now.
Okay.
Hear how bad
you are going to immediately hate it. Just remember, this was an anthem of revolution.
Oh dear.
Here we go.
Okay, we're finished. We're done with that.
It's not great. So
are they white guys?
Oh yeah, they're very white guys.
Yes. No. Viva la revolution. Good for you, fighting the good fight. But don't rap at Eurovision, okay?
It doesn't work.
Do not rap at Eurovision.
Do not rap, do not do reggae.
Those are the rules.
So it's tough. It's tough.
I mean, if someone actually came along that could rap or could make a good reggae song, but it's just stupid white boys doing it every time that can't fucking do it.
Yeah, I mean the message is there and it's very nice and good and well done them, like you say, but it's not a great song, which is why it came 19th on the night.
Understandable.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a shame to end the story on that on that slightly
good story though, mate.
Nice and political, and actually originally it was just going to be about them not being ready in time, but then I heard about their whole revolution thing. I was like, that's quite interesting. Lots of things happening all at once.
I always find stories that I've not even come across.
No, there was a really great podcast.
Researching them.
I think I mentioned the podcast before. A really good podcast by the BBC called The Ambassador's Guide to Eurovision, which is a Swedish ambassador basically talking about how you can judge lots of countries' opinions about other countries based on voting patterns for specific years. And there was just quite a small bit about Svante's visit to Ukraine, and then a little bit about the revolution bit. And so I looked into it from there. It's a really interesting podcast. See if you can have a listen to it. It's good.
I'll do.
So there we go. That was our little Ukrainian
good work, there. But they have always been a hot mess.
Yeah, it's not been the best circumstances for them to be hosting, and you'd have thought they'd been. Well, no, even now, like it's a. That's the thing. They've got a lot going on. They've got a lot of distractions, and I think
that's such a good way of putting it. A lot of distractions Ukraine have got, haven't they? It's a very polite way of putting it. I love it.
Quite a few distractions, so it's kind of understandable. But if you're going to host Eurovision, then you've got to take it seriously.
Focus, mate.
Yeah, you got to have your pride. I mean, that's what happened. Bloody President Yushchenko got all of his ministers on, and
good for you, Vicky.
Yeah, good for you, Vicky. So there we go. So that's my story. It's now time to move on to the part of the podcast that always gets my hopes up, and then my hopes get drastically dashed.
Trample them into the ground.
And this week, I've sort of been quite aware that I've done quite a few electro-y ones in a row now.
You have.
And I
Are you gonna go a cappella, mate?
Yeah, I've not done a cappella. No,
just raw.
I had to sing
really beautiful raw talent.
I had to sing it today with this voice. There was no way I was doing a cappella then. So I was trying to think sort of what sort of music is, other than that sort of electro vibe, what sort of music is good for that kind of situation, like a big arena, like a big exciting venue with lots of people in the audience, and I thought of, rather than just thinking about other like Eurovision things, I thought, what at like festivals and big crowds and things like that, what's the ones that start getting people going?
Ones where everyone can clap along.
Well, my thoughts immediately turned to middle of the road festival favourites, Mumford and Sons. And I started thinking about sort of like folk and country and like jumpy, jiggy music. And my thoughts went in that direction. And as such, I have written a song called Devil in Disguise.
Okay.
Would you like to have a listen?
The title, yeah, all right.
Okay, this is Devil in Disguise.
She's got a secret power. When she gets you there in her sights, she's got something about her. She's got 666 in her eyes. When she walks, you'll be in shock. She'll keep you up around the clock. Let her lure you in and spit you out. She'll be steady as a rock. So ask no questions, she'll say no lies. If you think you're in, you'll be surprised. Before too long, you'll realize to watch out, 'cause she's a devil in disguise. One swift move, she's on her way. There ain't no stopping when it's time to play. Before you look to compromise, she'll do what she does, 'cause she's a devil in disguise. Georgia, I met her in a dusty bar. Georgia gave a smile and said, Mr. Devil won't be getting far. She sent him running with his back on his back and his tail between his legs. And to this day, Mr. Devil tells a tale, and this is what he says. He says, oh, oh, oh. One swift move, she's on her way. There ain't no stopping when it's time to play. Before you look to compromise, she'll do what she does, 'cause she's a devil in disguise.
That was Mumford & Sons-esque country favourite, Devil in Disguise. You could slightly tell that I had a slightly tired voice at certain points in there.
Broke a couple of times, didn't it? Went a bit wobbly.
Yeah, it did a little bit. But I as I was thinking about it, I feel like I kept to my promise of keeping middle of the road.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's, yeah, for definite.
I've not dipped my toe into country music before. And
no, you haven't. It was a little bit, Oh Brother Where Art Thou-esque.
Interesting. Like, what do you mean by that?
Like kind of Southern America country.
Yeah, it's quite popular right now.
Mumford and Sons country.
Kind of, yeah, it's a bit more Americana-y kind of vibes. It's not very Eurovision.
It's not very Eurovision. I feel like it was perfectly pleasant.
Middle of the road, right?
Middle of the road. It was perfectly pleasant. Alongside 20 other songs, you'd get that forgotten instantly. If that was played at Eurovision, like, I'd forget 2 songs on what that was or who was singing it.
Here's the thing, I think, with the GarageBand app, it's very easy to do. They have a lot of electro-y sounds, and a lot of like electro noises you can make, lots of bleeps and bloops, and make them sound very good. They've got very few like acoustic things, so I was quite limited. And
Bad workman blames his tools.
Well, if
but it wasn't my fault.
I would love to have taken it up another notch to like do another, like where it's all like everything like goes a bit.
Yeah,
like,
it needed to be a bit harder.
Yeah,
and maybe have a bit where it went a bit faster and got a bit more Mumfordy. Like like everyone kind of stomping their feet. I was with it, but then I forgot it and I've forgotten it.
I
liked the lyrics.
I was singing when I was hungover and this morning, so it wasn't my best performance.
No.
But it is a sketch, and hopefully the performer on night won't be hungover and have a sore throat.
Bloody well, hope not. Eurovision.
You party afterwards, not before.
Jesus, get your priorities in order. Yeah.
So as a first foray into the little field of country and something a little bit different, a little bit non-electro. Occasionally people do country at Eurovision, don't they? Doesn't that really ever go down very well?
It doesn't do very well, does it? That actually sits alongside rap and reggae.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Don't ever do well. No one's that into it. We want pop. We want dance. We want an incredible ballad.
Yeah, that's it. You're right. Maybe I need to go into pop next time then.
Oh,
more into pop rather than electro
yes, please.
Stuff.
I love pop.
Okay.
Have you done a ballad?
Yes, I'm sure I have. I mean, not full on belting like ballad, but I don't know that I'll be able to. I haven't done just like a piano ballad like Lucy's was when it first got chosen, so maybe I can go into that as well. I'm not very good at piano. So Isobel,
not very good at country either, mate. Hey, you had to stop you.
On that note, let's see what score you would give it. So you've watched that song on Eurovision night, and what score would you give Devil in Disguise? It's a good title.
It's a great title. It had some good lyrics.
Yeah, I feel like
it wasn't offensive in any way. It was very middle of the road though, and was quite forgettable.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna go middle of the road, and this is me being nice, because if I was really judging this in like a Eurovision on the night Eurovision context of what it would get given, I think probably you'd only get a trois, but I'm gonna give you a cinq.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. It's middle of the road, and I appreciate that bone you threw me there. So thank you for that, Isobel. Thank you for listening to my song and my story. And
you're very welcome.
and sitting through it all. Thank you for listening as well at home. We appreciate you listening, don't we?
We do appreciate you. We still really appreciate you. A couple of points actually to end off on. Oh yeah, your eyebrows went, and then I don't
know what points these are. Go on then.
So we were hoping that this week we'd be able to get the wonderful Reverend on the podcast, because my father is visiting from Canada at the moment, but unfortunately he's not around.
I'm
the
sad.
days that Roland's around, so we can't record it together. But I'm gonna get some snippets.
For next week.
I'm gonna get some sound bites.
That's great.
So that's exciting. So tune in next week to hear the Reverend.
I am sad that I'm not going to see him, but at the same time, I quite like that there's still the mystery there of me having never met him.
He was talking about you on Friday when we were having lunch. He said, in fact, he told me to tell you he's very disappointed in you for not being here for him to be able to do the podcast live.
I know.
Very disappointed.
I mean, I am in Abu Dhabi, so
I did explain it to him, and he was like, "No, you can tell him I'm very disappointed."
Oh, God, I'm so sorry.
Very sad. He's not going to be on it.
Really sorry.
At some point, though, he'll be on. But Dad, you still just have to keep emailing in, mate.
Yeah, please do. I hope he forgives me.
He's going to have to at some point.
Yeah.
And also, don't forget that if you are based in the UK, especially London, just so you're not spending too much money, we will be at a Eurovision screening in Peckham, New Cross at the Montague Arms pub. It's called Nil Point, or if you search for it online, as in like nil points, spelled that way. Hosted by the wonderful drag queen extraordinaire Portia Fries. There will be quizzes and prizes and live performances, screaming at the TV, lots of booze. It'll be great fun. Tickets are £5. We'll be there, which will be even better. Looking fabulous, both of us. It's £5 a ticket. It's going to be, the whole place is booked out for Eurovision, so it's going to be just jam-packed full of other Eurovision fans. Everyone there with the same goal, just to have a great fucking time. So please do come along. You can find tickets online. You'll be able to find it on Facebook, most likely. And we will also be having Portia on the podcast in a few weeks' time as well. So Portia's going to come on and have a little chat with us about her Eurovision story too.
It is coming up so quick. Eurovision's like
now.
3 weeks away.
It's
like
crazy.
Less now. It's crazy. But all very exciting as well. So thank you all for listening, and please do be sure to tune in next week. So let's end the podcast the same way we do every week with our usual catchphrase. Isobel, are you a shady lady?
Now I'm a devil in disguise.
Hey! Thank you for listening, guys. See you next week. Goodbye.